Well, we want to welcome you back to, hopefully everyone got some coffee. Okay, are you a little energized?
Awake?
Okay. Awake still? Good, I love it. I got to tell you, I had so much fun at the Brave Men's Coffee. What do we call it? The bearded? We had a lot of names for it. Bearded Men's, yeah. Brave Bearded Gathering. I don't have that ability, but it's okay. I was with two very bearded men. That was really fun. I don't know. Don't take that quote out of context.
I would keep that to yourself.
I'm here for comic relief, really. All right, so why don't we get started? So we're here to talk about vision. Matt, you can put that slide up. Look at that. Look at us right there. Hey. Speaking of vision, this was a vision that when we started this whole thing, you started Brave 10, 11 years ago. Did you ever think that we would do something like this? Okay, so talk about the origin story of this whole thing.
Yeah, so we want to share the future, but we feel like it'd be great to share just a little bit about the past so you kind of see the whole journey. So when I moved to Nashville, I was looking for a mentor, and specifically for a female that had learned how to navigate all the things with family. And I never could find one, and I prayed for that for 15 years. And then finally, I asked the Lord why he hadn't answered my prayer. And he said to me, be what you need. And so, of course, I didn't know everything at that point, but I knew some things after being here for 15 years. So I started gathering girls first, because that was the need that I saw. That was the greatest need that I saw. And we went through several stages. How many of you guys were a part of Brave Worship? Were any of you part 10 years ago? Barentine.
Rachel,
I think you were,
pretty
Rach.
close.
Yeah.
One? Is that it? Just one in the room?
I think that's right. So anyways, it grew over time. So we've had many stages. We've done coffees. We're doing Brave Coffees now regularly. We've done writing trips. How many of you guys have been on a Brave writing trip? I want to hear your Down Some Chicken Lard song or something. Okay.
But that's where community really gets built. I mean,
Right.
I went on the Ireland trip
Yeah.
with you guys, and it was like the people on that trip, I will forever be attached to
100%.
with them, and we will never lose that memory. And
Yes.
we really got to know each other deeply. So
Yeah.
if we ever get to go on these mission trips overseas, y'all should come if you can.
Yeah, and so many different experiences with these girls, with the same group over the last several years. And a lot of them are the ones that are facilitating this week, and those relationships have been built over time, and it's been really beautiful, and we're so thankful. But when we got back from one of those trips, the girls were saying, we want to learn more about writing worship. And so because there was a need for that, I sat down and began to write the mentorship a week at a time. And then we had sort of a pilot group come in, and I'd teach, and we would do some of those exercises, and then we'd write. And then 2 weeks later, we'd do it again. And we went until it felt finished. And then I know this guy that takes the creative things that I write and does something online with it, something technology related, they say.
Yep.
So that's when you kind of stepped in and started working on the mentorship.
Yeah, I mean, and I got involved with Brave on the podcasting side because I built several podcasts that turned into communities, and I loved helping you and Mary Beth, your sister, start Brave podcast, Brave Worship podcast, and then when I saw you teaching, I just said, wow, we've got to get these in the hands of more people because you were really making an impact. I saw, the hours that you were spending with the girls, them coming up from the basement sometimes, and just being so full. And I wanted that to, I always have had a love to take something creative. I mean, ever since you started writing songs, I've been, pitching your songs and helping with your music career. And it was just a natural outgrowth to take that mentorship that you'd started in our home and encourage you to turn it into something online that everyone can participate in. And that's sort of the origin of how you started working on the mentorship. And I remember the whole summer you working deeply on putting it all together.
Yes.
And then we turned it into a video. We added a videographer and recorded. It's probably not the way I'd recommend you do it now, because so much of it, even though you did have real life experience, we didn't know what would work. And I think initially in the mentorship, we thought it was going to be, you just go through the mentorship on your own. It won't be a problem. You'll be able to just one step at a time move on to the next session. And we structured everything that way. And we had to do kind of a pivot with it and make sure that now we have 100% completion rate for the mentorship. And that's what matters, is that everybody that takes it finishes, because you have that accountability and you have the weekly groups. And people that have been a part of that was Amanda was our pioneer first mentor. Let's give it up for Amanda.
Did you recognize the mentors?
I haven't yet. Nope. I'm
Okay.
going to do that now. But
Okay, yeah.
oh, wow. Look at this. Thank you. What? Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay, what were you going to say?
Mentors?
Yeah, do we want to recognize all the mentors?
Yes.
So now we have a full-blown mentorship. All the mentors who lead mentorship groups or have led, stand up, please. All of you. Emily, Rachel, Stacy, Amanda. Who else do we have? Ryan and Matt Crossan is in the back. Let's give it up. Yeah, beautiful.
We love you guys so much, and it's amazing how they've just grown the family and just having those little units. And it's fun to meet you guys, because I know when you go through the mentorship and I meet you, I'll always hear who your mentor was, because I know they make such a big impact, and it's beautiful. Yep. So we're thankful for that. And then you started seeing possibly a need for a step one before the mentorship, and that's when I started writing the book.
Right, yep.
Yep.
How did the book come about? I don't remember.
We were talking to somebody about helping us to market the mentorship or something.
Oh, yeah, Wisdom Moon.
Yeah.
We give credit to Wisdom Moon.
Yeah.
Many of you know him. He helped us market the mentorship, and he said...
He connected us.
He connected us with David C. Cook Publishing, and a wonderful Wendy Lord helped us. She was you always need a champion, right? Everybody needs a champion. We all need a champion. She was a champion and helped that book get published.
And we weren't sure if that was going to work or not, but I was up two-way journaling one night. I still have this journal. And the Lord said, I'm going to open the door. And the next day I got a call from Wendy. So it was pretty crazy. And then, I want to say too, I was getting a lot of calls from younger guys saying, I want to get mentored too. Like, I see all this happening with the girls. We have two boys ourselves, of course. I have a mother's heart. So I think the Lord began to open that door as well to, hey, okay, it's beautiful that we started with the girls and we saw a lot get healed up. But in any family, any healthy family, there's a mama and a dad, and there's health between the two, and there's health between brothers and sisters. And we want to bring health to the body of Christ and health to the world of the industry, and see men and women work together in healthy ways. That's the ultimate goal.
Yeah. Redeeming, we talked about that.
Yep.
So we have a little writing worship path that I just so all of that came about, and we just sort of said, okay, well, this is kind of like a path that you can follow. And Krissy, you came up with the songwriter personality test. I don't know when that was.
That was first.
Yeah.
That was very first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So all of you all say your songwriter personality if you know it. Real quick, go. Perfect. So we just Krissy came up with these little taglines here. Take it, read it, watch it, do it. So the path from left to right is take the songwriter personality test. Then ideally, now that we have the book, just jump into the book and start to dive into that and start to dream and see things open up for you. Your imagination will take you places and begin to dream new dreams for your songwriting. And then watch it. Once you wrote the book, it was natural to create a companion course. I had seen other people do this, and I thought it was really valuable to break down the course, break down the book in a smaller bite-sized chunk so you could walk through that. And so we created the Writing Worship course with the purpose of kind of being a companion for the book.
And other courses came in.
And then other courses came in, the song admin course with Holly Salazar and the music streaming course, and there's more things planned. And Jake DeJarnett's Writing Worship for Musicians course. So that's been really fun to kind of watch that. And that's something you just watch on your own time. And then after that, you can take different ways on the path, but ideally we kind of see it as do it. Okay, now what's next is do the mentorship. This is where you really, get your feet wet and whatever all the analogies are, but you basically start walking and beginning to live this out. What's been in the book, what you teach in the courses, and all of that. Like, how do we put that together and live it out in real community? Yeah. And that's where co-writing really comes to life. And I know a lot of you I've talked to. Co-writing has opened up a ton of new things for you. Even though it's scary to co-write, it's one of the best things you can do because it's so much the model of the church and how things are structured. And thereby, that's why the course is such a great tool, and the book is such a great tool for building songwriting culture in churches, right? So that led to the mentorship, which we talked a little bit about. And then from there, there's just one more piece. Like when people finish the mentorship, for a few years, a couple of years, we've been doing this, 3 years, they're always like, I want to take it again. I don't want to leave these people. I want to get back in community. And so we tried for the last year. We've had 40 people go through what we called the membership. How many of you guys are membership members? How many of you guys have been part of that? That's been awesome. These are people who we take all of the elements from the mentorship, and I think we're calling it Live It. If you want to move to the next slide. Live It has been the membership, and that's where we have attempted to set people up on co-writes, and we've had monthly teachings. We had all kinds of things. Do you want to say something about the membership?
Yes. I'd love to recognize Amanda just for all the work that she put into the membership. So
Again.
she's been running that for the last year. She set up a lot of co-writes. She put so much thought into all the process and all the sessions and conversations, and she was there for office hours. She answered so many questions. And Amanda, we have a little gift for you if you come up, and we want to give it to you now.
Surprise!
You have to open it right now. Yes, give her that one first. Yeah, right now. Open it up. This is for all the songs that she helped other people write and facilitate other people getting to write. We hope she gets to have some more blessed back to her.
What is this 4-stringed instrument? Okay. Don't worry about the mess. What is that 4-stringed instrument, Krissy?
The dulcimer. That's the one that I share about in the book and everything for psalming. Because it feels like David.
It looks like your wall that you have in your house, the map. I think it'd go perfect with that.
Yes.
Anyway, Amanda, we wouldn't have done the membership had it not been something that Amanda felt led to start and help pioneer with us. After about a year, though, we felt like there was something different. We just needed to make some adjustments to it because it really is very, very new. And so very soon, we're going to be switching things up a little bit, and we're going to be calling it the Writing Club. So it's going to be super fun because something that we talk about a lot is keep writing, right? Keep writing. And I think the more songs you write, the better your songs will become. It's really as simple as that. Like, of course, also, the more you invest in your coming to conferences like this, like the things Mike was saying, meeting relationships. And that's really the second part. Your growth as writers multiplies in community with one another. Do you want to talk about those two main things and maybe how those will?
Yeah, the first one, I think a lot of times, I don't know. I think there's this perspective that the more song critiques you get, the better your songs will be over time. And there is some truth to that. But I think what is more important is just the process of repetition, continuing to write and write and write and write. And if you notice something on your own, it's way more valuable to you, honestly, as a writer. And when you can start to recognize things for yourself and correct them in the writing room versus getting all the way through, doing all the work, and then hearing feedback, and then going back and maybe re-recording and all of that stuff. So what's most valuable to you is learning that process yourself, honestly. And we do give a guideline in the book and in the mentorship for how to self-critique. So there is some guidance there, but just that repetition, that process of repeating the writing process in your own life, that will grow you more than anything. I was talking to Eric about this. I don't think I had any professional co-writes until after Your Great Name was cut.
Mm-hmm. No.
So, or critiques, either one.
Yeah. So the Writing Club is, I think, going to be taking all the best of the membership, and it's for mentorship graduates, so we all have that as a foundation. But then after the mentorship is finished, we want to provide an atmosphere that will almost feel like you are part of a publisher, but you're completely independent and free. So the goal is you're going to be challenged to write more. You're going to be challenged to build relationship with each other. We're going to have very regular times of interaction that I'll facilitate. I've also been talking to Karina, and she's volunteered to help facilitate some things. She's been part of our membership for quite a while as well. And I think we're going to build something that's going to be really beautiful for songwriters at any level. So that you, the more you write and the more songs you turn in, the more opportunities you're going to have for special things that we're going to invite you to maybe some co-writing days and some other opportunities to write for specific projects or partner with churches or whatever comes our way. I would love to be able to say, yeah, I have a group of writers. They're like writing like 50 to 100 songs a year, and they're getting better and better, and I would love to bring some of those writers in to opportunities and things like that. So the Writing Club is much more long-term, and you can scan I was really into QR codes this week as I was preparing this PowerPoint. So you can try to scan that if you can, if not now, later, to learn more about the Writing Club. And there'll be like an application there. But it's for anyone that's graduated from the mentorship already. So that is the Writing Worship path.
Okay. So that brings us to current today, and I want to look into the future just a little bit now. So over the last 10 years of Brave and Writing Worship, we've had many meetings in coffee shops, and we've been in Ireland, we've been in Scotland, we've been on hillsides, we've done worship songs on hillsides and churches, and a lot of Whole Foods community room coffees. We even had one gathering, I think, in a parking lot. Do you remember that one? Watermelon sugar, anyone? Yes. So anyways, I saw a vision probably 15 years ago. It's something that Eric has actually pitched to a couple of entrepreneur groups over the years.
I pitched it twice. One time I went to like a venture capitalist place, like in 2006. I found the old like PowerPoint presentation, and it was really cheesy. And they didn't like the idea. And then I pitched it to another person who was an investor in the music industry, and he's like, I don't think it's going to work. So
yes,
yeah.
But that was
wasn't the right timing.
Years ago.
Neither one was the right timing.
But anyways, the vision is a song barn. That's the vision. A place that would house brave worship and writing worship. It's exciting and scary at the same time. But this is where we want to head. And here's sort of our, a little bit of our vision. I'm just going to read this to you. Here's what's important. Number 1, relationships. Community for everyday songwriters, a place to belong, a home for the homeless of heart. Conversations will be encouraged at the coffee shop and lounge areas with plenty of tables for lunch meetings or work. Writers' rooms will be available to rent in 3 to 4 hour increments. They'll be located on the same floor as to encourage collaboration. The barn will not be connected to any one thing, but it'll make space for everybody to come together to build the church. Number 2, resources. We want to resource individual writers as well as worship teams interested in songwriting. We will have a community room, wink to Whole Foods, for hosting classes for the community, but also when we're not using it, we'd like to share that with the greater community. We'll be teaching the Writing Worship book study, all Writing Worship courses, the mentorship. We'll also host church worship teams that come to town to learn more about songwriting and how to establish a songwriting culture in their church. Number 3, releases. We will be training up to send out. That may look like training up people and then releasing them back to their home church to continue songwriting. It may be hearing a song in the hallway that we'd like to record and the song itself gets released, but we really pray that a lot of fear, insecurity, competition, inhibition is released from people's lives. And we believe that we will release people into their destiny. So those 3 things are going to guide us: relationships, resources, release. Those 3 things.
Do you want to talk about the values that all of the things that we do with writing worship and brave worship?
Number 1 is making room at the table. Everybody has a place. Number 2, raising a championing culture where we're cheering one another on. Number 3, awakening dreams, purpose, and songs. And number 4, clearing a path for the next generation. And speaking of next, I had a dream about a year ago. If you want to go back and listen to hear the whole story, it's on a Brave Worship podcast I did with Amanda. We talk about this dream I had. Basically, in the dream, I was marking trees and clearing the path and moving berries close to the trail and creating beauty and rest for the person coming behind me. And it took more time to do that. It took more effort to do that. But I felt like the Lord was saying, this is part of the vision that you have to look at for your life. It's not just you, your songwriting career. Look at who's coming behind you and make sure the path is wider than the way you found it. Make sure it's wider behind you than it was in front of you. And so that is basically what we want to do. Psalm 145:4. One generation after another will celebrate your great works. They will pass on the story of your powerful acts to their children. And you know what? A lot of times, songs are how we tell the story. So we want to share a little bit of that vision now.
Okay, so this is a rendering that we want to thank Dina for. Dina Porterfield.
Can you stand, please?
Please stand, Dina. She has been dreaming with Krissy about this, and yeah, I know you're weeping even looking at her. She can't even look at her. But this goes deep, this vision of everything that's been happening with resources. Here you go. Let's show you what this looks like.
The writer's room.
God, I believe in you. Release your love inside of me. Unleash your power for all to
It's our main gathering room.
Spirit, come and fall on us over and over. Oh Lord, make way through the water, walk me through the fire. Do what you are famous for, what you are famous for. Shut the mouths of lions, bring dry bones to
Inside one of the writer's rooms.
do what you are famous for, what you are famous for. God of exceedingly.
You want to walk us through the blueprints?
Yeah, so Dina, thanks for believing still with me. I felt like I was going to lay this down this year, and she came alongside me. And her husband's actually a builder in town. She's like, Krissy, I think it's time we drop the blueprints. And then she helped me the whole entire way, helped us get through this rendering process as well. So, Dina, you're pivotal in this whole envisioning of what's happening. So this is sort of the front, what we see. And when you walk in the front doors, of course, you couldn't see everything in the rendering, but there's going to be an office on the left, bathrooms on the right.
You can show the next slide, or the one with the inside, yeah.
Okay, there we go. There's the restrooms you see on the right side, the office. A great big community room where we can do coffees, brave coffees. We can do classes, mentorships, all those things. Little storage area, our sound booth right here by the stairs, our large gathering room there, coffee shop, cafe over on the other side with plenty of space for connection, and a screened-in porch over there. Let's go to the next slide. 10 writers' rooms, and open to that main floor so that we can gather around the top and sing down to the bottom, or play. Instruments can play up there. And there's also going to be a lounge where we can gather to hear songs at the end of the day if we're doing writing retreats, things like that. Or just if you want a quick cup of coffee, or a cough of cuppy, either one. And then here's one of my favorite things. In the tippy top, we're going to have a prayer room. The very top, at the third level right there, I guess they call it a cupola, a small room that you'll be able to see every direction from. So that's the vision.
Yeah, so, it's taken a while. The team has been incredible to work with. I know we've gone through all kinds of revisions of what this would look like, and different ways of it coming together. But the point is, all of these values that we've been living out without a barn, without a song barn, without anything really other than online and what we've been able to do so far by reaching you, can now be manifested in real life, in real person, where people can really gather together. Churches can come in. You have a big vision for churches to come in on a regular basis and visit and get poured into, and then send them back out. So we really see this as a home of reconciliation for the music industry as well, and a place where people can gather and really real collaboration can happen, and friendships and relationships can be built.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
So, as Ray Hughes says, we're taking the 500-year vision. We're looking past our generation and our time, but what's to come after us? And how are we going to leave things better for them? And how are we going to equip them in better ways to further the kingdom? That's the whole purpose. So we feel called to steward this for a time, but we also know that it will be passed on. That's the point. So, yes, we're going to help establish, and we're really excited about that. But it's meant to be carried on. And we're praying for 500 years of that. So, another thing Ray Hughes says is love people into their purpose. And we know that if we have that community on an everyday basis, and we're truly loving songwriters, that not only will their hearts thrive, but music will naturally thrive too, and creativity. That comes as a byproduct. If people are loved, they create. So we're just trusting the Lord with this vision. You're the first we've shared this with. I don't think our own team has even seen this video. I also want to just thank Stacy and Chuck and Bob Blankenship. They've all poured into this vision as well, been part of this establishing. So anyways, that's the vision. If you guys have questions, I think we've got a sign back there on the table with a QR code.
That goes to the video, and you can watch it and learn more about the Songbarn.
Yeah. So we're going to be praying for how the Lord's going to provide for that.
Yeah.
We don't know.
No problem.
We're throwing it out. This is the vision, and we're trusting that the Lord will bring the partners to help us make it happen. So we don't know how to do that, honestly. We don't know how, and it's daunting. But we can't shake this vision. We can't shake it. It's been in our hearts for 15 years. So we invite you to be a part. Let's talk, and just wanted to share that with you guys from our hearts to yours.
Yeah. Well, we have one final thing that we want to just announce and honor and recognize. So in the membership, we finished up the 12 months that we did it with what we love to call the Love Awards. Sounds a lot like Dove Awards, but it's not. It's Love Awards.
It's totally different.
I wonder who came up with that. This is her, actually, Amanda and Krissy again. I let them spend too much time together, and they come up with these things. No, this is great. This is perfect. So every month, almost every month, right? Yeah. Almost. There were songs recognized that were turned in our, once a month there was a song sharing time in the membership, and everyone in the membership voted on what?
There's a fly on your arm.
Voted on the best song. And so they were recognized. You might have seen some social media posts about that. And at the end of it, we have a recognition of the song.
Amanda, do you want to give these away?
The song of the year. So everyone voted on the songs. We have a little something for 2 of the 3 writers who are here today, and the other one we will mail. So, okay. So the song is called "Good to Me," And let's give it up for Joan Wellman and Audrey Moutsakis. Come on up. We have a little certificate for you. Yeah, picture. Can somebody take a picture? I know I couldn't. It's a YouTube video. Maybe Matt can pull it up before we finish today, and you can play it for us. It'll play on the screen. All right, so we're finished with our portion. I'm going to let you move into the songwriting panel, right?